Well, thanks, Larry. It's great to be with you. And I wasn't dodging you. We're just so hard at work, not only prosecuting the case against Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi's failed agenda, which you're going to hear a lot about tonight. Tonight is about the State of Union in crisis, and no amount of rewriting the history of this last year is going to take away from the fact that their failed policies have hurt every American family. So Republicans are supportive of our commitment to America, and we're getting feedback from every state, every congressional district across this great country. The crises that I hear most about, Larry, is inflation. I hear that in every part of my district. That's a tax on every family. Republicans stand for responsible fiscal policy, and part of that means reining in our spending. We worked very hard to defeat the multi-trillion-dollar Build Back Better agenda, which would have been the largest spending bill and the largest tax increase in our nation's history. We're going to cut taxes to make sure that Americans can keep more of their hard-earned money in their own pockets. In addition, prices at the gas pump continue to soar. We need to unleash American energy independence. And we've seen on day one how damaging President Biden and House Democrats have been when they red-lighted the Keystone XL pipeline with a stroke of a pen, immediately crushing tens of thousands of jobs. And now we see, as we're facing a national security crisis in Europe, that rather than looking to American-made energy, you have Joe Biden and House Democrats who want to increase our reliance upon Russian energy and energy from other parts of the world. We need to be energy dominant and energy independence. Lastly, crime crisis. Communities across this country are less safe under one-party Democrat rule. We see this in my home state of New York, and it's a tragedy every single week. Homicides are significantly up, and we see the number of NYPD officers who have lost their lives. It is outrageous. We will support our law enforcement, and rather than defunding the police, we will invest in our law enforcement and make sure that states have to do so in order for them to get cops grants. So those are some of the ideas. You're going to hear more about this as we work to earn the support of the American people from now until November. Yeah, well, look, the cavalry's coming, and this sounds very, very good. Let me just ask you two quick things. Actually, I think they're both easy. I have begged Mr. Scalise, I have begged Mr. McCarthy, I'm down on my knees with you. Can we make the Trump tax cuts permanent, please? Just make the Trump tax cuts permanent. Absolutely. That is going to be very, very important. And we've seen the economic growth. I mean, what a stark contrast between this administration versus the Trump administration. What a stark contrast we see in states with Republican governors who have a record of cutting taxes versus my home state like New York, which continues to increase taxes. And there's been a mass exodus of people who are going elsewhere. And the other one, Elise, is the catastrophe at the border. I mean, to some extent, the Ukraine business has crowded out the catastrophe at the southern border, which continues unabated. Over 2 million illegals. I was with Chad Wolf, former DHS secretary, just the other day, talking about that. I mean, can we return to some of the basic building blocks that were put in place by the Trump administration, which seemed to work pretty well? Yes, and I was just with Brandon Judd, the president of the National Border Patrol Council. We just had him in the Capitol. You know, Joe Biden is not allowing us to invite guests, and we're highlighting the real state of the union, which is in crisis. Republicans are committed to securing the border, to building the wall, to making sure that our brave Border Patrol men and women have the resources they need. And what I'm most disappointed about is we are likely to hear nothing about our southern border from Joe Biden tonight. He hasn't even gone to the southern border. He has shirked his duty as president of the United States to deal with this crisis, let alone how it's impacting every community across America. Fentanyl is skyrocketing. Overdoses are skyrocketing. That is pouring in through our southern border. The leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45 is fentanyl overdoses. No, thank you, Elise. I don't mean to be rude. I'm on a short leash tonight because of all this stuff. We appreciate your coming on and going through this very much. Hope to see you soon. Thanks very much, Elise Stefanik. All right.